So what I'm doing now is feeling some fear that I have. I've got a certain fear that was triggered over the last couple of days, and I'm feeling it now because I feel safe. So I feel like this is the opportunity. When it came up again, I was like, this is what I've been doing. So I'm trigger, and I feel it, and I don't think about the why. I don't think about the why. I just feel it. I don't think about where it's coming from. I just feel it. And when it gets really, really deep, you'll notice a trigger and you'll remember something. Right? That gave you that feeling. And then you just feel that feeling. Feel that feeling. Right deep into that memory that was triggered and that feeling. Good. You feel it, feel it. Feel it. And now feel and then don't think about the memory anymore. Just that feeling. Now if it's increased, there you go. That's good. You want to go as deep into that feeling as you can. When you go deep into that feeling, you may find another trigger or the root of when that fear came. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. I've navigated a couple of triggers, and I'm searching for the root, feeling it all, that fear of a certain thing that triggered me. And it's nothing that's a trauma, it's a fear. So that means it's generational, this fear, because it doesn't exist. It's not happening right now. So why am I feeling it? It may never happen. So why am I feeling it? My emotions are feeling this, but my brain is like trying to figure out what the hell is going on here. And then I realize, as I'm talking with you right now, trying to figure out what it is, and I can't find anything in me. So if it's not me, it's generational. Because why I have fear when I know I'm in a safe place, or if I have fear or of something that is going to happen soon or tomorrow or next week or next year or never happen, and I have that fear, and that's not something that's happened that I've experienced, so it's generational. It's like having a fear of heights or having a fear of the ocean. All these fears add up to maybe a phobia, if you want to say it, and maybe that is generational, because if you haven't experienced it in this life, you may have experienced it and had trauma that you couldn't heal through in a previous life or several generations ahead of you. So you're healing through their trauma or your previous life trauma. So feel through it and it'll go away. Once you understand that it's not yours, it could be generational, and then feel it up and then watch it start dissipating. You get to it and it starts to dissipate. You find that where it's coming from and it starts to dissipate. And that's cool, because now I know it's not a trauma from me. It's a trauma from something else that has been passed down from generation to generation in the DNA. Not just behavioral, but trauma in the DNA that has to get healed. And that's what it means to be a generational curse breaker. When you take on those feelings from your ancestors that they couldn't do, they couldn't navigate it. And trust me, it's not easy to get to where this is. Psilocybin and God, man, it was, I followed I followed my agreement. I honored my agreement to heal, and they'll change my life. To heal in the universe, God, source energy, Gaia, whomever, the source energy. We had a conversation. Apparently, we've had a few conversations. I just don't remember the first one yet. But when it's time, he'll tell me. I'll remember then. But getting into that generational fear, a fear of something that's not happened, hasn't happened, or may never happen, but that fear is there. So doesn't make sense to me why I have that. So that has to be, from my perspective, this level of consciousness allows me to feel it right to its core within you and explore it, and not have anything else in your mind popping up, or memories and stuff like this, actions or anything. Now it's just that I have to feel this, and when it finishes its cycle and it's already starting to dissipate, that it's going to be gone, and then I won't have fear ever again about that thing, because the things you experience now, these fears and stuff, are and triggers, are wounds that you need to navigate. But then when you get to the point of healing your trauma, you gain consciousness because you've healed your soul, and then you start working on the generational stuff. And that's stuff that's hard to wrap your brain around, because you got to figure out what the hell it is. And that's how you figure out what the hell it is. Going in there, feeling it right down to its core. And that's what I want to do. I'm going to sit here feeling this. I thought I'd explain what I was doing as I was doing it. And they say that your deep, powerful feelings and emotions, you manifest them, and we're so overwhelmed by the heavier emotions and programming that the only thing we can manifest is heavy energy, because all we do is think about the stuff from the past happening again, and we have fears from the future and everything else. I mean, we can't freaking sit in the moment, which is where your healing is. You don't think about the past, you don't think about the future or anything else. This is how you quiet your mind. You have to control your thoughts. If you cannot control your thoughts, you're not going to be able to navigate your emotions as they come up, as they are triggered. You have to clear your mind of random thoughts and crap that pop in. And the best thing to start with is the most prominent I wish I shoulda coulda thing. The one that just keeps popping in your head. I wish I said this or could have said that in this conversation, and you kick yourself or something. That's the kind of thing that I grasped, is that one there, because it will pop up all the time. And so if I get rid of that one, I'll know it, because after a week or two, and I'm like, okay, it worked, it's totally gone. I don't have that random thought coming in my head anymore. And then I started working on other ones, and other ones, and pretty soon, you're working on the big stuff too, clearing that stuff out. So then you can sit and meditate and focus on your breathing and stuff like this, put your feet in the grass and ground, get all that strength, all that energy, the positive energy you need to start navigating this stuff, because this is where the big stuff starts happening, right? When you get a trigger going down, and then things like fear and shame and the abandonment issues and the betrayal, and like when you start getting into the hard stuff, like deep childhood fears and traumas, right? Things that completely changed your perspective of life from a child. Going in and healing that stuff, man, that's freaking game changing stuff. That's like amazing. You become the parent to your soul that it needed, and you heal all that stuff. And then when your soul, your emotions trust you, trust your conscious mind, there's no fear. There's no fear anymore, right? You deal with what happens when it happens logically, and you work together in tangent. You work together so well because your thoughts trust your emotions, and your emotions trust your thoughts. And that's peace. That's living in consciousness and peace. It's a fucking awesome feeling. You should try it sometime. It's a bit of a journey. No, you got to take a step sooner or later, because if you want to get to this level, and you can, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. And it's friggin' awesome. I just completely healed through all my childhood trauma. And that's awesome. And now you're healing through generational stuff. You're healing through phobias. You're healing through everything that you can that takes you down to the low frequency shit, that low energy. Feel paranoia, feel shame, feel all this stuff right down. And then as you navigate the triggers, you make it to the root. But the key is to focus on keeping your mind occupied on that pain and where it's leading you, so you can think about it and discover where it is. And when you recognize it and it's attached to a memory, when you find that, then heal it. Just feel it right through from start to finish. Just drag it in, all your energy into that feeling. Just feel that hardcore, deep shit. Really feel it. Like go in, drag it in. Every ounce you can draw into that raw feeling, do it. And it'll start dissipating. You'll recognize that after a few minutes. And it takes time. Some are big. Like fear is really bad. Shame is a tough one. Abandonment issues took me months to complete that. I couldn't do it all at once because there's just so much of it. Right? There's just so much of it. All these triggering moments that would pop up in your head, and you got to go down into it and down into the next one, down, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm good for today, and then the universe gives you a couple of days, and then it'll hit you again with it, and then it hits you again with it, and you end up working your way to the root causes and healing right through it all, and then it's just done. It's done. It's done. Pat yourself on the back. Get yourself, some ice cream or something. Whatever your inner child would like. Reward your inner child and reward yourself for your success. Right? Because that big, hard, tough fucking shit, you got to work together with that. Your mind has to be sharp, ready, focused. Because if you need to control that and stop any thoughts or anything from invading while you're feeling that feeling. And that's how you do this. That's how you get in there and get that deep shit. You can't run from fear any longer. You got to do it, because sooner or later you're going to have to do it. Are you the curse breaker? Is that why you're here? For your family? To learn this shit and apply it for your family? For the next generations, and heal past generations. Man, they're going to throw a fucking party for you. You're going to have your own table, and you get to decide who's going to be there. That's your reward. in the 5D, when you traverse this and step into the next step of your journey, when you release this suit that we wear, the vehicle. Funny. Realities change. When I was a kid, we talked aliens. That was like crazy shit. Now, yep, we got them. They're living right on the fucking planet. Could be your neighbor. We really don't know. Because we're not getting any information. But they said, yeah, it's here. They're here. And they've always been here. Probably before us. Yeah. I wonder when harvest season is. Oh, that's funny. Nah, no, I'm a weird one. I'll edit that part out. Maybe not. I don't care anymore. Still working on that feeling. It's not as prominent as it was. It doesn't take your breath. Sometimes they really hurt. Sometimes they really hurt. And you may not, you may push the big ones away a couple of times before you get through them. But you'll get through them. Don't beat yourself up if you can't. It took me months to get through some stuff. Months. And wow, it's hard to believe what we endure when we come out and we finally through it. All your childhood trauma and all that crap and the programming starts unfolding and you start seeing things. It's like, holy crap. It staggers the imagination. I don't even have words to describe the feeling. Just the feeling and the clarity. The clarity, intuition, trusting your feelings. And then you know you're feeling what you're feeling. You're feeling your energy. And then you'll know if you'll come across people that have the same energy. And it's fucking cool. It's like your best friends. You've known each other for fucking, half your fucking life. And that you get that feeling, that connection. And it's really cool. And then other people that are not on a healing journey or refuse to stand up, and do the work, they're going to try to ride your coattails because they think you're now going to make them feel better about themselves. And the surprising thing is, no, sorry. Your journey, your choices, your karma, your all that stuff, you got to do it on your own, just like I did, just like everybody else has to do it. That's how you do it. This is how it works. Right? And you feel all that crap. That's the karma, right? That's what, that's what that is. Right? That's that pain. That's karma. So kind of think about what you're doing now, because you don't want any other karma. You're going to have to navigate that fucking sooner or later. So anything you reflect or inflict on other people, you're just inflicting on yourself. I am you, you are me. Get it? The mirror of each other. We're like bouncing energy back and forth. And if you choose to hurt somebody else with intent, The fucking karma? Oh my god. I am so fucking glad that I didn't do that shit in this lifetime. More than what I did, because hey, I'm no fucking saint. But, I made some bad choices when I was in dark places. Right? But I've always had the best of intentions. That I can honestly say. I never wanted to ever hurt anybody. I never wanted to. I've wanted to hurt people, yeah, of course, because I get anger and rage and shit that was living in me at times that was so hard to control. Because fuck, it was hard to control. Every ounce of strength that I had to keep my composure with stuff and try not to react in a way that I project negative energy on people. It is fucking hard sometimes, and sometimes it got away from me. Sometimes that darkness got away from me. Right? Not often, thank God. But the guilt associated with that is kind of significant. And I had to feel that in order to, I guess, counteract having to go through that in the next life. Right? So guilt is something maybe we should really look at as a, hey, warning sign. You need to kind of pay this little debt unless you want to go through it. So feel the guilt. Right? That's just a step in the direction. Yeah. You feel the guilt, you ease your karma. Because that's a feeling. That's a learning tool. Right? It's like making a mistake. Don't let other people beat you up about those mistakes either. That's your tool, not theirs. Because they're fucking so insecure they have to use someone's mistake against them. Fuck, that's just pure insecurity, pure ego tactics. It's narcissistic tendencies working right there. Okay. When I kind of start channeling, I tap my chest, and that's what I'm doing now. I don't know if you can hear that or not, that tapping. Tapping on my collarbone, where it attaches to the sternum. Which is why it's a prominent sound, I think. Is there anything else to feel there? Doesn't really feel like it. See, look at that. Still a little bit there. Still a little bit there. But not compared to what it was. So I just keep feeling through it. Right? Just keep feeling through it. This is how it's done. A lot if you can do it, a little bit at a time. The key is feeling it and getting through to the end, because when you're done feeling that, there's going to be a brand new feeling for you there. And it's going to be a real positive. It's going to be positive because you're going to realize what you just did. And it's going to sink in. It's going to hit. And it changes you when you start realizing and you start making that connection with self, spirit, higher self, consciousness, and you start realizing these things. Learn to manifest too. To manifest with water for almost a year, and I pray on my water and my food every day now. Every meal. I try. Sometimes I forget because I'm distracted and I'm thinking about something and I forget because I'm deep in thought. yeah, manifest. Learn how to create moon water if you want to. If you want to get into the spiritual stuff is belief and faith. You have to get into that if you want to make the best epic fucking journey in get consciousness, where you see things that are reality changing, how things patterns work, how emotions and energy works, and how you walk by somebody and you can almost feel their energy by how they're moving and how they carry themselves, and you know, if they're struggling inside in the low frequency, or when they're high frequency, you can feel it, you sense that, and it's just like it's really really cool to feel these things, because you know your energy so well. Because I've been on my own for the bulk of the last 6 months, meeting several different people, connections with people. But this, being alone with your thoughts when you're healing and trying to keep other people's energy from interfering, oh my lord, that is really hard. That's why you got to make cuts. You got to cut ties with people that are low frequency. You just can't. You'd love to help them, and I would just love to help and heal everybody, but I can't do it. I gotta heal me. I can't do it. I gotta focus on my path. I had to knowingly. I took this on when they said that you're gonna have to make a lot of cuts, right, with people. You're gonna have to prepare yourself, because you could be doing this fucking journey solo, and you better come to grips with that. And I have been coming to grips with that. I know, I'm accepting that, because the reward of peace is awesome. The reward going in knowing that this sacrifice and my loneliness is just a byproduct of something, that's absolutely fucking amazing. And it's just, you gotta suck it up. I mean, it's worthwhile compared to how I was feeling before. I was lonely before too, but I was not starving and completely broken. It was, that those kinds of heavy weighted burdens on you, it's exhausting, and is to the point where you can't even get up. It's just the weight of it is so much. It's just so heavy. You can hardly breathe sometimes. Then it starts manifesting physically in your body, and it just fucking beats you down and just trashes you. And then heal through this. Look at me now. My peripheral neuropathy is almost completely gone. My digestive system is back on track. I'm 55 pounds lighter now. I'm healthy. I'm like 170 pounds, 773 pounds or something like this. 5'10", 6 years old. Blood pressure is good. All my stuff's coming back good. Pre-diabetes is gone. It's all healed. My body's healing. My body's fucking healing. Where I had to buy enzymes to digest food, and now I can eat almost anything I want, but I choose the healthier stuff because that's what I chose to begin with. And that's what you got to do. You got to commit to yourself. And that means cutting out on the processed stuff. I did. And, I started taking detox every day, 1 ounce of it every day for approximately 3 weeks before I ran out. And then I waited another month, and then I did it again, and then I waited a month, and I did it again, and I waited a month, and I've been doing that for almost 2 years. Well, I didn't have any over the summer, but the bulk, that's usually what I do. So I'll have, on average, maybe half the year, I guess I'm doing it. Maybe less than half, maybe about 40% of the year I'm taking it. So Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate this year. It was about 50% the year before. But this year, there's been a lot of moving around and stuff, so yeah, at least, somewhere around 40%, I guess. That sounds pretty accurate. That sounds pretty accurate. For what I remember, anyway. Anyway, it's not something that I ponder that stuff very much. Not all anymore. It's really funny. So, yeah, that's that feeling's almost completely gone now. The one I was navigating. Yeah, almost completely gone. I'm digging into it hard now, like just trying to get every last fucking drop of it out. It's like wringing yourself out emotionally. It's like feeling it. You need to empty out the sponge of that emotion. That's not a bad analogy, actually. Squeeze it out. Just accept it. Just say, yeah, I'm gonna fucking wring you out, you little shit. I found you. You found the root. Take the sponge of emotion and fucking wring that little fucker out. Yeah. Yeah, and then you have more room. It's like the sponge grows because it has more room to draw out those big ones. Yeah, but when you draw out the big ones, you're gonna feel it. Those ones that you fear the most, that we've been running from our entire lives. Those fucking things. That things that we may have never ever spoke about to another human being. Like some of the things that happened to me, I never fucking spoke about. And I saw my doctor, and I've been seeing this guy for like a decade. It's got to be getting close to that too. It's been getting pretty fucking close to that. And fucking brilliant guy, fucking brilliant fucking guy, like him. And I was gonna say something, and my thought shifted. Why? Don't know. It's derailed now. Oh, look at that. 717. Cool. 717. Thank you, universe. 717 is when I have the opportunity, and I try to it was a number that was shared with me, and I remember it. So I set my clock for 7:17 a.m. and p.m. is when I was fasting. The first time I fasted, I took one of those little protein boost shake things at 7:17 because I was concerned about my healing and stuff like that, and I didn't know about the advantages of fasting past 24 hours produces digestive stem cells. If you water fast for over 24 hours, and then it starts producing the stem cells to help your digestive system heal, right? Because it's going to start consuming, your body is going to start consuming, the first thing is all the bad cells and stuff, right? If it's once depleted any other energy, that's what it starts going after before it goes after adipose tissue and stuff. I think that's how it works. And then which adipose tissue, if you don't know, is the body fat, right? There you go. And then that's the secondary food supply, or tertiary, I'm not sure. We'll figure it out, because I think it's the bad cells that are first. That's the first thing that goes, is to recognize that, because they need to produce. So that's when the stem cells come in and say, okay, we need to produce, so we're going to have to fucking make sure all this stuff is working better, so that everybody gets tune up, and away you go. They get their tune up, they get their pit stop. Yeah, it's time to run a race. For a couple more laps anyway. So, there you be. Good luck on your journey. You got this. I'm good. I'm feeling it. I'm pretty much done it. So I think I'm going to listen to an audiobook. Thank you very much. Take care, and we will talk soon.